Hey everybody, I'm Allie, and today I'm going to share a quick and easy way to make a repeated card, and we're going to get started. So I'm going to do 4 cards, relatively identical, starting off with an A2 card base of just, this is Recollections 110 pound cardstock, top folding card. Then I've cut some strips of pattern paper. This pattern paper is from Lawn Fawn, and it's known as Let's Polka Mon Ami. Then I've taken some Nina Solar White cardstock, and I have die cut a series of ovals, and I've used the Dynamics, the stitched oval stacks from My Favorite Things. So I have 4 of those, and I've also have 4 smaller ones. I've also taken another die from My Favorite Things, and I've die cut just half of my ovals to reveal some fun little hearts. Okay, there's a start of our card. So for my card today, we're going to use the Some Bunny stamp set from My Favorite Things, and I'm going to pull out my Misti, and we're going to use this as our tool for making multiple cards quick and easy. I have first taken, this is actually the piece that I cut my ovals out of, so I've placed it on my Misti. Now I've placed it not from the corner because I have a couple of stamps that need to come across and are going to actually be outside of, so I needed a little bit more space, so that's why it's not jammed in the corner. Now this is where your Misti comes in handy, because now with this guide you don't have to tape anything down. You can literally pop your oval in. Actually, it probably goes the other way. They're not completely, there we go. Pop your oval in, and because all of my stamps are actually sitting at the top of my die, we can actually put our magnet to hold the bottom of our oval right there. Okay, so I've placed my bunny and a couple of clouds, and that's why I needed this cloud extra goes outside my oval. So that's how we're going to stamp. And because we're going to use Copics to color, I'm going to use Memento Tuxedo Black ink, and I'm going to ink that up. Give it a good press. And perfect. And see, with having those magnets out of the way and having this piece out of the way, it allowed my clouds to go. So I'll just move my magnet and pop out my piece, and then pop piece number 2 in. There we go, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 bunnies all ready to color. Right, now we're going to do some coloring of the background of our image. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to take our guide again. This has been great. I'm going to slip this in there. I put a little bit of sticky tape underneath so it just holds it in place so it's not going to move around. I've gone ahead and taken some Ink-a-Dink-a-Doo stamping mask paper and stamped out my 2 clouds and my little bunny. So now I'm going to remove the green backing paper, and we're going to literally place them right over top of our image, and this creates a barrier where the ink won't be added. I'm going to use my airbrush system for Copic to add a little bit of sky color, and also to add our ground. now that I have all my masks placed on, we are good to go. Now, I don't bother keeping the green backings, but I do keep my masks for future projects because they actually last a fairly long time. So I just attach them to my stamp set and save them for next time. I've also taken just a scrap piece of paper and I've made a landscape kind of cut, and I think we'll do our sky first. So I'm just going to, I have added a little bit of tape and I've stuck it to my pants here so to remove some of the stickiness, and we're going to use it to create our skyline. So this is a BG01, and to load Copic marker into your system, you match the angle of the tip to the angle of the brush and literally till it clicks. I'm going to leave the edges a little lighter and concentrate a little bit more ink around our cute little bunny. Great, and to remove it, it's literally you just pull the cap, and this time we're going to remove our mask. There, and we're going to use the other piece of the mask. And we're just going to put it over top of our already prepared sky, and we're now going to do the grass. And I'm going to use a G02. Once again, there we go, off to the side. And I'm going to concentrate my ink towards the top of the hill. Light lighter towards the bottom. And now my mask actually stuck to my other mask. So now you just carefully, ever so carefully, peel up the bunny. Making sure not to rip off any appendages like we already have. And there she is. The clouds I'm actually going to remain on the outside of that oval, so I'm just going to peel back just enough to remove our clouds from our oval, and then I will leave them actually sticking down. Now that we've got our masking done and our sky and our cute little landscape here, we need to add a little bit of color to our bunnies. So I'm going to start with her dress, and I picked it in R32. And I'm going to keep my coloring pretty simple just because I'm going to have to do this 4 times. So I'm not going to go into too much detail or add too much depth. I'm just going to keep this pretty flat for color. And let's speed it up and I'll show you my process. And voila, it's as simple as that. I think we'll come in with a little bit of shadow here. I'm gonna add maybe B31. Just gonna add a shadow here, a little bit to her pockets. And that's it. Now that we have our 4 bunnies colored, let's put our cards together. So I know that whatever side my die cut hearts are on is the side I'm going to put my pattern paper on. So that helps me first to decide which side to put this pattern paper on. And to ensure that the center doesn't buckle, I'm going to put a strip of foam tape right across the center, and I do that quite often. And then the beauty of that technique of just putting slice marks in it is it comes off in one piece. Yippee! So our card base, and then go put it a little bit more towards the top. And that's a good start. Okay, we'll continue the rest and we'll go back with the next step. Okay, we're going to put our Misti in and we're going to do some stamping for our sentiment. And I die cut 4 of the stitched rectangles from Simon Says Stamp. And we're going to use our lovely trick of using our die cut page to actually hold in our little teeny pieces. So again, I'm going to add just a tinkle of tape, and I think I'll see if we can get a little tackiness off here. Stick it to my thumb and my hand. Alright, that's a little better. Now let's position our greeting, and I think I'm going to use some bunny, and of course I'm not using the grid lines or anything, I'm actually using the die cut shape as my guideline here. So I've now got my 4 partial sentiments done, and I cleaned off my stamp, and now we're going to position the little teeny loves you. So some bunny loves you. It's sentiment down. Close our Misti. Give it a little press. Alright, now I think we'll use a pink. So I'm going to trial some strawberry slush ink from Stampin' Up, but I don't want to trial it, of course, on my piece. So I'm going to take a scrap piece of paper here, and I'm just going to trial this for color. I think it's a little bit too bright. It's a little bit too bright for my liking here. So I may see if it stamps off. So we'll rotate this and see what stamping off does. If it gets us the right pink. Ah, much better. So I'm going to actually stamp off first and then get this color on our greeting. I'm going to ink it up. Stamp it off. Flip this back. And there we go. It's such a lighter pink, which is perfect. It matches our pink on our card better rather than the deep dark. So I'll literally just fold this back and put in the next one. And I'm just taking our sentiments that we stamped and I'm just putting them on the card fronts. I did actually decide for the 3 remaining cards not to actually pop them up using foam tape. So these ones are actually flat and just taped. And I kind of thought, since we'll make them a little bit more whimsical and put them on kind of wonky, because that's kind of cute. Our card now is to put these little banner shapes. I have some white ones, some pink hearts, and some of our green dots, and we're going to use the opposite pattern paper that we used on the front panels. So pink hearts will go on the green dots and vice versa for the other ones. So I'm just going to do one, and I die cut my hearts because they are kind of directional. So I just have to make sure that I use the right one so the hearts sit up the right direction. And then we're going to put a white flag underneath. And we'll trim off any excess. Enjoyed this tutorial on how to use your Misti, some die cuts, and lots of fun stamping tips and tricks. Have a great day.